Ready. Play.
You're sitting next to me?
Yep.
I go more to the left or I stay?
Yes, slightly to
Yep.
the left. Good idea.
So,
Okay. Cool. I'm here again with Benny on a Is it a day off today, more or less? I mean, I know you practice and stuff.
yeah, day off, but I practice exactly. Had some appointments with SAP, big company, huge sponsor here for the tournament. Yeah, but day off.
Day off. First thing I would like to say is something a little bit left field regarding yesterday. I was watching you, and I think you're wearing a Nike T-shirt, Nike shorts, Asics shoes, and maybe Yonex socks. I'm not sure which.
I think it was Under Armour.
Under Armour. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. They're your socks. So. But it's just something when you're a bit lower down the rankings. Let's say. Not everybody, of course, has a kit deal, as we would call it in English. Have you had one in the past?
Yes, I remember. I played Dunlop rackets and I had Dunlop clothes. I still have some Dunlop clothes I wear now. But right now I don't have a sponsor for clothes, so I wear the things I have.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why everything is mixed up.
It's a common thing for players a bit lower down the rankings, but I think somebody with, if you don't mind me saying, a game like yours, pretty spectacular. I think you have an interesting background, and I want to speak to you about that. It's kind of surprising to me that there aren't more sponsors that are interested in saying, here, look, just a year's worth of free clothes, for example, or whatever.
Yes, I'm also surprised, but I also understand because I'm not the youngest anymore. Maybe less potential than a guy who's maybe 20 or 21 and could, I don't know, become top 20 in the world. I mean, I'm 29. I have maybe 6-7 years to play if I'm lucky. So I think that's something which is not attractive to sponsors.
Yeah, perhaps, but I think, I mean, we were talking a bit yesterday about, obviously, we'll also go into the Olympics, but you obviously got a reasonable fan base around the world. There's a lot of Lebanese living here in Germany, but in many other parts of the world, and many of them were congratulating you on your recent Olympics, right?
Yes, a lot of, and I didn't expect it. It was unbelievable. Many people from outside of Lebanon and also living still in Lebanon, even people who don't follow tennis, that was the crazy part, because it was such an history-breaking thing. Because I was the first Lebanese to ever play and the first Lebanese to ever won a round then for sure in tennis, which was crazy. And I didn't know that it meant so much for the Lebanese people because they have a hard time now. So I'm very glad that they're still following and still having the hopes up.
Yeah, indeed. Let's go into a little bit of detail about you and your background. I mean, you're born in Germany, but obviously you have a Lebanese background. Tell us a little bit about that and also how you got into tennis.
So, yes, I was born and raised in Germany, both my parents from Lebanon. My father moved from Lebanon to Germany when he was 17, flew from the civil war there. And my mom was a kid when she moved to Germany. And they met in Germany in Saarland. I don't know if you know where it is.
Saarland, yeah.
Saarland, yes, and that's exactly where I was born. But yeah, and my father brought me to tennis. He was also a former Davis Cup player for Lebanon.
Okay.
Still coaching nowadays, so he's a coach in my home club Neuwied. Yes, and he's still loving the sport so much, and all my family play tennis, so we're a tennis family.
I've actually been to Lebanon myself,
Oh.
so yeah, just over a year ago I was there. And
Beirut?
in
Oh,
Beirut. Well, I
Beirut,
went
yeah.
to many places actually. I was around. Sounds like you're going to interview me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did
Where
a
have you
little.
been?
It's not a big country, so we hired a
sure.
car and we went along the coast, went to some nice places there, and then we got to. Is it Tripoli in the north?
Tripoli, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Tripoli in the north.
And then came back. We did a wine tour and
Nice,
went
yeah.
and saw some of that. So there's a lot of things, of course, about Lebanon that many people don't know, but the food is just out of this world.
Good, yes. That's what I hope to hear.
Yes, indeed. And
food is
it's
good.
it's despite being a small country, extremely diverse.
Yeah.
And also in Beirut. Oh, by the way, I drove in Beirut. We hired a car.
Me too.
You've done it too.
Yeah, yes,
Tell
yes.
us how was it for you?
Actually, I like it.
Oh, really?
I like it, yeah.
Some of the motorbikes coming from everywhere.
Yeah, but they don't have any routes. It's
Okay,
just,
yeah.
But I still feel they drive together. You know?
Okay.
So you just honk with your car, and then everyone is alert, and they know that you're coming. But I like to drive. You can do whatever you want.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
not too many routes.
But no, a great time. And so, a little bit on a more somber note, I was there just over a year ago, but of course, we've just had last week, I think on Sunday, we had the 4-year anniversary of the explosion, of course, which is something for many people that we still can clearly remember. And I don't know if your family in particular have had an impact because of that explosion. I mean, I know they live in Germany now, but maybe, do you have any relatives still in Lebanon?
Yeah, my uncle and some cousins still there. With the explosion 4 years ago, yeah, they felt it for sure. But nothing bad happened to them because they were really in the central of Beirut. And actually, I've been, I think 3 months after the explosion, I've been there and I
Okay.
saw the place.
Me too.
Yeah,
Well,
it looked horrible.
3 years, yeah.
Looked really horrible, yeah.
So yeah, this is obviously a tough memory, and there's, I mean, you mentioned how your parents fled the civil war. When I was in Beirut, I went to very close to what was used to be a Holiday Inn in the 70s, and now it's just a dilapidated, empty building, and it's quite weird to sort of see these pictures in the early 70s of how Lebanon was then and how developed it was, and now obviously post-civil war in the 70s, and then what happened since. I'm just wondering what kind of a connection you still feel, though, to Lebanon, with obviously your uncle being there and this situation. Obviously growing up in Germany, but obviously having family.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing Davis Cup since 2018 now. So twice a year I'm always there, meeting my family and meeting all the other Lebanese I know from the federation and the team, the Davis Cup team. We try to visit a lot of places there, so I know a little bit about Lebanon. But it's always amazing to go there. Of course, 70s was before my age. I don't know how it was there, but I heard a lot of good things. They called it the Paris of the, what do you say it?
Of the Middle East?
Middle East, yeah. In German it's different, it's now Ost.
Yeah.
But yes, it's been beautiful, what I heard. It's still, I feel beautiful. Of course, you can see that they had some problems in the past with the wars and everything. But it's still a beautiful country. I enjoy it every time I go there. It's
Cool.
incredible.
Moving on and looking at your tennis career, I'm sure there's many highlights and some not so big highlights, but we obviously recently had the Olympics, playing at the Olympics and beating Eubanks, then obviously running Bias very close. Where does playing the Olympics rank in your career?
Yes, it's tough. I mean, it's a big part, of course. It's the biggest event in sports. So it's, of course, in the higher ups. I would say probably same with the Grand Slams, same level, maybe a little bit under, just because there's no points and no rankings, no money. But it's a huge event. It was unbelievable for me to play there. Unfortunately, I don't follow too many other sports.
Okay.
But I try to do that now. So I couldn't watch any.
Were you staying in the village?
I was staying in the village.
How was it?
It was nice, very nice to see other athletes there. We all ate together. Was beautiful. We had some bikes there where we can drive around at night. It was good. The only thing is we had no AC in the room.
Oh, really?
So it was so tough to sleep.
And is this the case for all the athletes,
Not
or
for
you just
all.
had a bad
No,
luck?
not for all. There were some athletes. I heard now the one who won gold from Italy in swimming. He also didn't have AC, so he slept outside in the park. I don't know.
Wow.
I saw some pictures. But I know also from my German friends who were there in the German house that they have the AC. They had the AC, so they could sleep. But for us, it was incredibly tough to sleep.
Okay.
But the beds were not that big of a problem.
The beds were okay?
For me, it was okay. It was hard, yes. Maybe I could use one more pillow. But the AC was the toughest part.
Did you have a single bed or a double bed?
I had a single bed, but sharing with my coach, with the Davis Cup coach. Yeah.
Okay, so there was two of you in the room. Okay.
Two of me in the room. Then next to us, another two guys, the player and the manager. And
Next door, you
next
mean?
door,
Yeah,
exactly. And then we had like a small living room.
Okay.
And then there was another room there with two people sleeping.
So it felt like an apartment, really?
It was an apartment, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
It was an apartment, yeah.
Did you see some sort of famous names? I mean, you said you don't follow other sports that much, but did you see many famous names? Maybe you saw, I guess you saw Rafa or Carlos, maybe.
I saw Carlos and Sasha. Sasha I talked to a
yeah.
little bit. Alcaraz, he was there. But the big guys, I don't think that they stay in the village because they need some privacy. They probably they cannot sleep in the bed. For example, if you imagine LeBron James sleeping on those beds, the bed is too small. Who did I see? Holmes, the runner, female runner. Yes, I saw her. The German Also sprinter girl Alicia Schmidt was
Yeah.
there, yes. So some names I saw, of course, but I don't know too many of them, unfortunately.
Did you see sports people as well wandering around with their medals at all? I mean, some of the events are done in the first 48 hours, and the medals are being handed out. I don't know if you saw anyone wandering around with a medal around the neck.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But a lot of athletes exchanging pins and asking me to exchange pins.
Did you do some of the pin exchange
Yes,
thing?
of course, but we only got, I think, 15 or 20 pins from Lebanon. So after the first day, they were all gone, unfortunately. Yeah.
Lebanon, we need more pins.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Just looking at your career, and I sort of wanted to put the Olympics in the context. Tell us about maybe a couple of your biggest moments in your career.
So one
apart from playing Bon.
Yes, sure, sure. So I would say one of the biggest was also my first one. That's how I started to become a professional. It was 2017 when I was 22, I think, playing the Challenger in Koblenz in my hometown. That was the start point to my career. Because then I started to play professional tennis, and where I said, okay, I leave my university behind and focus on tennis. Then, of course, this year, all the Grand Slams for the first time. This was the dream that I wanted to achieve before when I started my career, to play all the qualies in the Grand Slams. And yes, Olympic Games for sure. Still, I like to play Davis Cup a lot. It's nice with them. Beautiful family we have. I enjoy it a lot, and also the Bundesliga we have in Germany. Also nice events. It's something different in the team also, because all the time we're traveling alone to tournaments, to places you don't want to be sometimes. So it's always a nice change if you have team members with you, where you can share your funny memories, or you create funny memories. It's always a nice change.
Because it can be a bit of a lonely sport, tennis, right?
It is, especially traveling. I hate traveling. And then alone in the hotel room, and I'm also not the guy who goes to sightseeing a lot. So, yes.
What are you doing? Playing computer games or watching Netflix?
Actually, a lot on my phone, talking to my girlfriend, talking to my family. Yeah. Playing some games on the phone, but not many, not computer games. I've not been into that too much.
Tell us about a match or two that really in your career stands out for you as a special memory. It can be a win or a loss. I mean, sometimes losses can be memorable.
Olympic Games against Baez for sure was a really good one. 7-6 in the third against a top 20 guy.
Still good. You still call that good, even though you lost narrowly.
Yeah, for sure. It was an incredible level we played. Unfortunately, I lost, but still I was so happy with my result there. That I couldn't be mad about it, even if I lost.
Is there a Grand Slam match, for example, that stands out, either good or bad?
No, not stands out, because I'm happy that how I did. Could go better, could go worse, but I wouldn't say I was standing out. Was crazy matches. But I had some crazy matches against Vavasori in Stockholm. I will never forget, saving 3 match points, 1-7-6, 6-7, 7-6.
Oh wow!
Was really crazy fight. Qualifying for my first Masters in Madrid this year, playing against Chorich the first round, having a good level.
Yeah, I saw that match.
That was something very good. Yeah. I'm very proud of. So I had some good memories and also some bad, of course.
Is there a player on the tour who you would love to play? Anyone? This is
still playing?
Yes, still playing. Yeah. Why would you go Federer?
Yes, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Why Roger?
Roger is an unbelievable guy. How he played the game, what shots he had, it was unbelievable to watch. It's something that no one could ever achieve. What he did for me, tennis-wise, what he could do on the court if he had a good day, it was unbelievable. So if you ask me who the GOAT is, I know if you talk about numbers, it's Djokovic. Sure. I know that, but still for me, it's Federer.
Where would you play Roger? Wimbledon or?
Yeah,
Wimbledon. Court 17?
No. Roehampton.
Roehampton, yeah, good one. Let's talk about your game. I was watching you pretty closely yesterday. I've seen you on TV many times, but the first time I've seen you actually in the flesh. And it's a pretty aggressive style, right, in terms of like attacking play, and you've got a bit of a variety there. Where has that always been the case? Is it something that's happened, you've evolved, or is it just your skill set?
No, it's linked also to Federer, I would say.
Okay.
I watched him a lot. He was the only player I watched. I hated to watch Djokovic and Rafa, even though they played unbelievable tennis, but it was too much the same all the time, playing rallies from the baseline. It was boring for me. It still is boring. And Federer is the one who had some variety. He had serve and volley with the slice, with the drop shots, attacking tennis, searching the opportunity, and that's how I always wanted to play. I'm still trying to play like this, even though it's tough and I need the skills of Roger and the talent. But that's how I like to play tennis, and I think I play the best when I play like that.
Well, a message to Roger. You've got a reason to come out of retirement now, so you can come and beat him, because at the moment you have an unbeaten record against Roger.
I never lost to Roger. How can I? Never lost to Rafa, never lost to Djokovic.
Thanks very much, Benny.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks. See you.
See you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.